This shit out. I'm gonna knock this shit off right now, Heather.
I am not
And
lying.
it is disturbing to me how, and I let you go because I just wanted to see like how good you are.
How
The
good I
way,
am?
yeah, did I stutter? Do you want me to repeat it?
What do you mean how good I'm not lying.
I didn't call you a liar, right? You're manipulative as fuck.
I am
The
not.
fact that, yeah, you are. So the fact that
No.
you very smoothly transitioned into you going after and preying on and having inappropriate feelings and you being delusional towards what it is you thought you would get from Chris, to then all of a sudden flipping to Chris victimized you, which is interesting to me given the fact that wasn't it just 2 weeks ago you joined a live and told people that Chris did not victimize you and that you defended Chris. And so for you to have just so smoothly gone from you being the predator to now labeling Chris the predator and start crying and make it seem as though you're the one who's being hurt and you're the one who is being taken advantage of is fucking gross, but not just gross, it's disturbing. It's scary how quickly you did that. Now, there was something about you that triggered me where I knew you were a manipulative, controlling piece of shit. There was something about your facial expressions. You have likely lacked control, maybe for a large part of your life. That's what happens when you marry a groomer. But you are someone who has been slowly getting off on it more and more and more. And there was something about you that just disturbed me when I saw how you were getting off on abusing the little power and control that you had. And now seeing how quickly you're able to manipulate like that, you're dangerous, in my opinion. Now, I want to be super clear. Do I think that Chris did something likely very inappropriate? Yeah, I do. Do I also think you did something highly inappropriate? Yeah, I fucking do. And him doing something inappropriate doesn't cancel out you being inappropriate. And in this case, you're the older person. I'm going to put more responsibility on you. And the reason why, and first of all, by the way, me stating what I just said was a bit of a risk because you were fooling some people in the comments, just to be super clear. But I think it's the very fact that you remained silent while I corrected you that made everyone realize you were full of shit.
No.
Yes.
Absolutely not.
Yes.
I'm listening. I
Oh no no no!
listen.
I'm not asking you for your feedback. What I'm telling you, because if you're going to be getting better at manipulation,
What
you
you're
need to
saying is
understand signs.
100% false. A
Okay,
hundred percent
how did
false.
Chris victimize you then?
So I have
Did he promise
been,
you a relationship?
no.
Did he make you think
Well,
that he was going to be
actually,
husband
no.
number two?
That's okay. Hold on. I'm sorry. Yes, he did. He actually did. He actually said, I
Was it a
promise.
sexual relationship, meaning
Yes.
sexting? Okay,
Yes.
he delivered on that.
No, was, no, he promised more. Um,
What? What did he promise? I have a hard time believing Chris Mowry told you that he's potentially husband number two. He knew
no,
your age, right?
your husband. No.
He knew your age, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so what's the promise you're claiming he made?
That we would have a personal sexual relationship,
What does that mean? Sexting is a personal sexual relationship.
like in person.
Okay, okay, that could still be entirely casual and meaningless.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what you're saying is he promised me sex one time, but he said no. He didn't promise you a relationship. He said,
No.
"Hey, let's talk about meeting up to have sex at some point."
Yes.
Okay, and he changed his mind,
Yes. Or he lied.
and you were
I think he
victimized
lied.
how?
I think he lied.
You're saying he was dangling his in-person penis over you as a lure to get you to sext, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay. See, the difference between you and the women with regard to Harry is that Harry was pretending that it was monogamous and making them believe that they were special and that there was some potential future there. right? Chris Mowry didn't make you think there was a potential future there, correct? What he's
No,
saying is, hey, if we happen to be in New York at the same
no,
time,
no, no,
let's get freaky one time.
no. We just didn't. We, the conversation was like friends with benefits.
Yeah. So again, and
So
if it's friends with benefits, because I don't shame friends with benefits, I'm pro friends with benefits, right? But friends with benefits means he can disengage whenever it is he wants. He didn't make a false promise. He just disengaged earlier rather than later. So
I,
again, I asked the question, how are you victimized?
at the time, because he solicited me.
I mean, I don't know what that means in this context. You were his mod, correct?
I am, yeah,
No, at the time it happened, you were his mod.
yeah.
So what do you mean he solicited you? So you two had like a working mod relationship that was purely platonic, and he slid into your DMs and said, I'd like to see nudes? What does solicit mean?
Uh, Basically, yes.
I'm not trying to be rude, but you have said that I've misinterpreted you several times. I'd rather not rely on the word basic, and I'd rather you explain it more specifically.
Um, we started texting about mental health.
Who asked for whose text? Who asked for whose number?
Uh, I,
Okay, you don't even remember, so it's not relevant. Go on.
I know that he texted me first. I think I sent him my number. Um, I'm
Okay, so you're talking about mental health.
yeah. Um, I'm sorry. I'm trying to. I want to be honest, so I'm trying to remember exactly what happened. Okay, so we were he was on live with somebody. I cannot remember what the conversation was. This happened several times where they were having conversations on live that were kind of edging towards sexual in nature. I know people have seen clips of this, right? Of him doing this with like Dean's girlfriend or whatever. And so a few times it happened where he would text me at the same time that he was on live with like sexual innuendo and like inside jokes around what was going on the live. Like I have
Inside jokes is not inappropriate. Respectfully, given the fact we argued over the word P-trio means, what does sexual innuendo mean for you?
um I'm trying to think of an example. Okay. One of the examples was people were probably there. It was him and I think I don't remember. It was one or two of the other guys as well, and they were talking about shoe size, and and he was texting me about like penis size being related to foot size, and so
And you have that text message.
no,
Why would you not have that text message, Heather?
because I got rid of it.
No, you didn't, Heather.
Yeah, I did.
No, and again, this is why I don't like how smoothly you lie.
I'm not
When
lying.
did you stop having, when was this actual relationship with Chris?
What? Sorry.
When was this sexting relationship with Chris? How long ago?
It, uh,
Roughly.
it started right before, like right around his birthday, which is in mid-January,
So
and it,
3 months ago, roughly?
yeah, and then it ended like February 10th or so.
Okay. You have the same phone, correct?
I do. I have done a data recovery, but the
Well,
text
hang on. You
messages,
have the same phone, so why did the text messages go?
I deleted them.
How do you delete his text message to you, Heather? You can't do that.
I deleted the text thread, the whole
How?
thing. What do you mean how?
You mean you swiped it and deleted it?
I
Why?
deleted the text thread.
Why? You're still friends with him, right?
No, we have not. Like we don't
I thought you said you
talk.
recently talked to him, remember?
He texted me.
So you do know you have an Apple?
Yep.
Okay. You know that when you delete a text thread and you then send a new text to that person or they send it to you, did you know that it repopulates the old text message?
It was too long ago. I
No, no,
tried.
no. Hang on.
I
Did
honestly
you?
tried.
Okay. Are you aware of that? What I just said, though.
Yeah, but it doesn't repopulate that far back. It's too far
Okay,
back.
Heather. What's a little concerning to me is what I just said. I just pulled out of my ass, and that
No.
was me seeing how you would respond to something that could trap you. And the fact that all of a sudden you've gone from not really knowing much about technology or online spaces to now having intimate knowledge that when Apple created their text messaging service, they made it so that it auto repopulates with deleted text. That's telling me that you didn't really know that, but you're pretending to know that,
No,
which shows me you're lying.
I'm not. I'm not
Heather,
lying.
I'm not asking your opinion. I'm telling you absolutely that shows me
No,
you're lying.
there's only one of the two of us who knows whether or not I'm lying, and that's me. I know
No, no,
I'm
no,
not
no.
lying.
I know you're lying.
No, you don't. You
So how
think
did
I'm
you?
lying,
So how did
and
you
you're
learn?
wrong.
So tell me how it is you learned about Apple's text message recovery system.
Because I tried to recover the texts and I can't because they're too long ago. I did research in the last couple of weeks to see if I could recover them and I can't. They're too long ago.
3 months is too long ago for Apple. You're telling me they don't keep things
Apparently,
for 90 days?
apparently, I've done a data recovery. I got recovery of some content, but not the text messages.
How did you describe to me what data recovery entails for you?
Of what I got?
No, how you did it, Heather.
What do you mean?
I've done data recovery on my phone. Tell me what you did.
I went, oh gosh.
Yeah, it takes a moment for you to have to make up a lie. Go on.
I'm not making up a lie. Okay, if
Okay.
I were lying, do you think that I would still
Just
be
answer my
here?
question. How did you learn how to do data recovery?
I Googled it.
Okay. And what did you learn from Googling it? What was the
That
self-learning?
I could go to accounts, Apple, and recover some of the data, but not the texts.
What data were you able to recover? What data did you learn you can recover?
Pictures and videos.
But not, why are you typing?
What do you mean?
Why are you typing?
Because I'm typing.
Are you typing in the words data recovery so that you can see what the answers are to the questions? Because you weren't ready for a pop quiz?
No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not lying.
Okay,
I'm
so I'll
not.
ask the question again. Why were you just typing?
Because I have a friend who's talking to me, who's texting me
Texting you on your computer?
on my computer. Yes.
What service are they using to text you on a computer?
iMessage. My computer is from
So hang
the.
on. Hang on. So your iMessage, you're connected. You're telling me your text messages were connected to the cloud then, Heather?
No, they weren't. I
Yes, they
checked.
are. If you're telling me it's
No,
connected on your computer,
they're not.
well, you just told me you're texting your friend on your iMessage on your computer.
Yes.
And what that
Yes.
means is that you're hosting your messages on the cloud so that they can sync between your computer and your phone. Heather?
So
So
I
what, Heather?
deleted, when I deleted the text thread, I deleted it off my computer. And it said, deleting this text thread will delete the history
So it
from
was on
all
the
of your
cloud, correct?
devices.
Because that's what I'm telling you is on the cloud, is that when you have it synced, it's a 6-month recovery option for text messages on Apple.
Okay, then you tell me why I didn't get them when I tried.
Because they didn't exist, maybe?
No, they absolutely exist.
Okay. So tell me a little bit more then. So he talked about dick size. What was the soliciting part?
He was trying to get photos and videos of me.
What does that entail? What does that mean? Because you are admittedly, by your own admission, desperate for attention, desperate for validation, and you made it sound like he had to ask you twice.
I don't know how many times he asked me.
But he asked you more than once. You're telling me he asked you for nudes, you said no, and he asked a second time?
Um, Probably not.
I mean, did he have to convince you or did you convince him? Like, I don't know what's so complicated about that.
No, like he was doing the convincing for sure. Like I said before, he handheld me through this, and like he sent me like one thing that I think is just wild is like one of the things that he sent me was old, like quite a few years old, and I was when I got it, I was like, I am uncomfortable with this. He is way too young, and
I mean, how old? Like, how old was it? A year, 2 years, 3 years? What do you mean?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know how old it is. I don't know if he's underage in it. I know that I was uncomfortable with it. I do have it.
And you're saying that you told him, don't do that, or what?
Um, um, I I asked him how old. He just said it was a while back, and he wouldn't really tell me. Yeah, it was. I actually, I don't still have it. It is one of the things that I did get recovered.
So you do have it.
I do have it now. I didn't.
Okay.
I just got it. It took a week for the recovery to come back. I just got it a couple, like maybe, I don't know.
Okay, so you're saying he sent you an image when he may have been a minor. You said, I mean, explain to me how you respond to that.
Then,
Yeah, if a 22-year-old turning 23-year-old Chris Mowry sends you a nude that you believe could be of him as a minor, I'm genuinely curious. What was your response?
no,
Hi, Chris. I got this image. Fill in the blank. What was the rest of what you said? This was 3 months ago. Like, this is not that long ago.
I know that, but I'm also like, I'm I'm hyper aware that every single person listening to this thinks that I'm a liar, and you're calling me a liar. I know that I'm not a liar, so I'm trying to be as honest as I possibly can.
So So what's your best recollection? Like, it's a simple question. Like, sends you a nude that may be of him as a minor, and you respond saying, "Hey, Chris, looks like you've got some great potential, but can I
No,
see you when you're an adult?" Or do you
no.
say, "Hey, Chris, this is too young for me"? Or do you say, "Hey, Chris, you know what? I'm going to delete this photo because it looks like you're a minor"? I'm just asking, what did you say to him?
I said, like, how old are you in this? You look young. And he said that it was a couple of years. So
Okay.
he wasn't a minor,
No, 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 no.
or he told me he
No,
wasn't a
no, no, no.
minor.
You, a moment ago, said you still don't know if he's a minor.
I do a bit of digging, and I'm not tech savvy. I've had help to deal with this. And it's
You're not tech savvy, but you figured out how to recover or not recover text
no,
messages.
I had a friend help me with that. So when I got this recovered, we were able to look and see that it was 2 years old. So
No, no,
yes,
no, 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 no.
no, I know,
5 minutes ago, you literally
I
said you
know,
don't know if he was a minor.
I know, I know. At the
Why are you
time,
pivoting to
at
now?
the time,
No, no, no. You said
first
right
saw
now.
it.
You said right now you don't know if he was a minor.
Okay, well, I'm sorry, I misspoke. He was not a minor. I know that.
What was the misspeaking? Like you very clearly said, you don't know. How did you go?
That's the misspeaking. I said I don't know. And the truth is I did know.
No, no,
He
no.
wasn't a minor.
Misspeaking is fumbling over your words. That was a statement.
No, misspeaking is saying something that's not true. Like I said that and that wasn't true. This is the truth. He was not a minor.
Okay, so then you had no issue with the photo that he sent.
I didn't feel great about it, but he wasn't a minor.
He said, "Hey, it was 2 years ago." Did you say in the future, make sure to only send images that are recent?
I did not give him instructions or directions ever. I did not.
You did not what?
I think that I I'm not really sure what it is that you're trying to do. So
I understand you.
I
You were in
I
a live
don't
earlier today,
I don't think
1000%
that
stating that pedophilia is not only not always wrong, but that in a decent percentage of cases, it is likely beneficial. We then learned about your relationship with Chris, and I
no,
told you that to me, this makes you a
no,
very dangerous person because not only were you imagining a relationship with a 23-year-old, you were also believing that you had a deep spiritual, meaningful connection with a 23-year-old. And you also have these beliefs that pedophilia can be okay. And as you said yourself, as long as the 16-year-old is mature enough, and as long as the 35-year-old man is a good man, it's not a problem. And
no.
and
That's
then
not what I
and
said.
hang on. And once
That is
he
not what I said. No,
and
I'm not going
once
to let you
and
lie
once
about what I said.
okay, what is it?
No,
Correct it. What is it you're saying? I misspoke on.
the conversation was around my 18-year-old
No, it was
having
not.
a relationship with a 35-year-old.
No, it was not. We
Okay.
talked about children under the age of 18. 1000%. Don't lie. We have the
with
recording, Heather.
mid-20-year-olds. We did not
Nope.
talk about children under the age of 18 with people that are much, much older.
We said
Definitely.
25 or older.
I am not.
You said for a 25-year-old or older person to be with a 16-year-old. If it's a mature 16-year-old and it's a good man, it's no issue. You absolutely can
With a-
date
with a-
25-year-olds and it can be
With a
beneficial.
20-something-year-old.
No, it
Okay.
was not 20-something. Remember we talked about Romeo and Juliet and I made clear
25 because we were defining my relationship with
we were
my
not
husband.
defining your relationship. We were talking hypothetically. I made
No.
an exception for
We
your
were not
relationship.
talking hypothetically, right? I
Heather,
told
it's
you
recorded.
I'm not okay with that.
Heather, it's recorded. You asked me what we're doing here. What I'm explaining to you is that then flowed into here. You started to get heat because it became clear that you were okay with pedophilia in a
I
lot
am
of
not
cases.
okay with pedophilia.
Heather, I will listen. Do you know who I am?
No,
Okay. Heather, I'm going to give you a real quick rundown.
I don't care.
Yeah, you will. Heather, you
No,
will.
I
care.
actually don't.
Heather,
I really don't
I'm
care.
going to tell you right now. You need to
No,
humble
because
yourself.
you
for a moment.
are what you're doing is character
Heather, I
assassination.
have the recording.
I
of
don't
the live
care.
where I was patient and I was calm and I was respectful for probably about a half hour, and you were given every possible out. And in that live, I can guarantee my reputation on it. You were explicitly clear that you would not condemn pedophilia, that you did not believe it was right to say that it was wrong, that you believed that saying that pedophilia was wrong was a generalization you were not comfortable making. And then we went into specific scenarios involving 16 and 17-year-olds dating older men. And you specifically said, as long as they're mature and the men are nice men or good men, I don't see what the problem is about it.
You
That
are
is all on
conflating.
record. That
You
is
are
all on
absolutely
record.
conflating conversations.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Okay, would you like me?
100%
Hang on. How about
conflating
this? How
conversations.